All right, our Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, making his first trip yesterday to the border since he was confirmed.
And Lawrence joined him and our border czar, Tom Homan, down in El Paso.
Hey, Lawrence.
Hey, good morning, family. It was an electric day yesterday. We were here in Texas. We went to New Mexico. Also, the Secretary of Defense could get briefings of what's happening at our southern border. Take a look.
Border security is national security. That's what it's all about. And then also to see the troops. This is what we're going to do everywhere we go. Here at home, overseas, see the troops, make sure they're locked in on their mission, make sure they know how much we appreciate what they do. That's what the president wants. That's what the American people voted for, and we're going to deliver it.
Mr. Secretary, we'll follow your lead.
So we just touched down at a U.S. military hangar to talk with the troops.
So what y'all are doing right now is the front lines.
We're going to head into the chopper and go get a view of the border from the sky.
So, Mr. Secretary, have the meetings been so far as you've been talking with your command staff about getting this border secure? Are they ready? Do they have the tools necessary already?
You know, it's been incredible to watch the military respond to the lawful orders of the commander-in-chief. There's been no hesitation. There's been full integration, belief in the mission. You know, our generation has spent 20 years guarding other people's borders while watching an invasion of our own. And the great people, the Border Patrol and DHS and ICE have done the best they can, but nobody can bring assets to bear like the Defense Department. Nobody.
If the military is not able to be used to defend our own country, then what is it for?
You're going to have your men and women there. What happens if they get bum rushed or someone fires on them?
It's a great question. It's one of the first ones we encountered, right? At some level, rules of engagement or what's the standing order if engaged. And there was never a question. Obviously, always troops will be able to defend themselves. And if fired upon, you can and will fire back. We're not putting sitting ducks on the border.
We'll stand by for the tour.
As we get closer down into the wall, how much slack time do you anticipate before wall construction can recommence? We're actually going to get started a lot quicker than we've ever in the past.
You don't have to wait for the reconciliation bill from Congress or anything.
Correct. We literally have funding from 2021, 22, 23, and 24. That funding is immediately being spent on projects that were offered during the previous administration.
So we just finished a briefing with the Secretary of Defense, Chief of Border Patrol, as well as the border czar.
As long as that they get in illegally on the Biden, they're going to go home. We're going to secure the border, and this country will be a lot safer.
You two gentlemen's commitment that by the end of this 4 years, and I know you both, I know the President has confidence in you both, that we will have, for the first time in American history, operational control of the border. Is that a promise y'all can keep?
I mean, Lawrence, sooner than that, if it takes that long, we're not doing our job right.
We're not waiting 4 years. We're going to get this done.
Tom's going to go find them internally. We're going to prevent him from coming in the first place. And between that, we're going to secure the country because that is national security.
A report is out that says that the Mexican cartel plans on using drones as well as firing upon our agents and military. If this were to happen, what would be the response of something like this?
Well, obviously not going to stand for that, Lawrence. The most powerful military in the world will not be intimidated by anybody, let alone cartels.
It's not a question of if, it's when. It's going to happen. President Trump is designating a terrorist organization. We're going to put on business. They make billions of dollars. We're not going to go quietly. There will be violence.
It looks like Mexico they've caved to the tariff threat from the President of the United States, saying that if they did not stop the fentanyl and the illegals coming across the border, that there was going to be a tariff on them. They have since come to a temporary negotiation.
Yeah, we have no better negotiator at the helm than our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump. The military here has the assets. The mission is clear. We will secure that border. Nothing's going to intimidate us or back us off that challenge. And if we have to be even more proactive, we will be.
This is national security. When we secure the border, less people die from fentanyl, less women and children sex trafficked, less people on terrorist watch lists cross that border. This is a national security issue. President Trump's going to shut it down.
And guys, I was with the Secretary of Defense all day yesterday. The one thing that did not make air that I think the audience would like to know about is when I talk with the troops. The fire that's in his belly, you see it in the rank and file. They're excited about doing their job and hunting down bad guys. That's what they signed up to do. They didn't sign up to be babysitters, change diapers. There's a place for people to do that. It's not the military. It's not the Border Patrol.
A great report, a great ride along. Lawrence, I got a question for you. At the top of the program, we were talking a little bit about how the cartels apparently are going to have kamikaze drones that are going to go ahead and target our Border Patrol and, by extension, also our service personnel over there. If they know that there is a cartel with a base where they're launching drones or they're shooting at our guys, let's say 100 yards into Mexico or a mile into Mexico, at what point does the United States military say, you know what, time to take you out?
Well, I think the president will respond by what he's always said. You harm any American, you shoot at any American, there will be a response. Just words of the wise for the cartel, because I sat through some of the unclassified briefing yesterday. They know exactly where they are. Yeah. They know where the leadership is. During the past administration, one of the things the president wanted is to do military strikes, military operations on those. And then you had some of the 4-stars and the Secretary of Defense at the time that didn't want to carry out that plan. Well, there's a new Secretary of Defense, there are new 4-stars, and they will be carrying out those missions.
You know, Lawrence, you did an excellent job. And when I see you on the border riding a horse with Kristi Noem, I see you walking around with Tom Homan and with Pete Hegseth, and then we see Marco Rubio with Maduro, and we see him with the president of El Salvador. We know our president's going to sit down with Netanyahu. This just shows strength. That's what comes to mind when I see these images.
And you feel it as well, Ainsley. But first of all, it's an incredible honor to be with the newly elected officials, to hear the stories, to hear the plans. But it's also an honor to be with the rank and file, to see the spirit, to see the fire in their belly. I mean, we got some great men and women that are very good at their jobs. And I got to see some of the technology. For the cartel, you have drones, our drones are bigger. You have weapons, our weapons are bigger. The spirit, the weaponry, and as well as the leadership is stronger in America. And I hope our audience got to see that through our packages over the last couple of days.
Indeed. And you've got more with the troops coming up. Lawrence, great job down there in El Paso. Very nicely done.
Yes.